So hello again. It's been a little while. I had a lot of stuff to be getting on with in real life, but I thought I'd come back and do something that a friend of mine who was doing some Legio Metallica Titans was doing some striping, and I thought I'd better point out a way to do it so you get that nice even look. This is something I got from White Dwarf magazine. One of the guys there, when he was doing his Titans, he mentioned this, but I thought I'd just do a little demonstration of what it basically is. It's really simple, easy, perfect for me really. So for example, if you want to do some stripes onto your shoulder pads for your Warlord, basically I use a selection of Tamiya masking tapes, which are mostly like a yellow paper masking tape. They also do like a plastic one, which I got from Hobbycraft. This is a 5mm wide, and this is what I normally use on Warlords in particular, without making the stripes too big or too narrow. So you start off with getting it into the first one into position and what sort of direction you want the stripes to actually go with. And then what you do is make sure you've got enough tape, he says, to cover it all. So you just put it next to each other, make sure you just dig into, so it molds into the position that you want. Obviously with this one, it's got the features there, which you'll just go straight over, because with the plastic tape, it does sort of mold well, as most tapes do anyway, but I just prefer the 5mm one, which comes in the plastic tape format. So lining them up as close as you can. Try not to have too much in the way of gaps between, but obviously with the texture of the Mechanicus Opus there, it's going to be a bit awkward. Obviously on the plain pads you get, you don't have to worry about that too much, because obviously there's nothing to get in your way. Saying that, even the Eye of Horus one, because of the raised parts, is going to cause you a little bit of a issue. So you always use like the butt of a brush just to help make sure it gets in to where you want it to get, like so. Put that back there, and then again just into position. You can see just peel off quite easily to reposition if need be, if you're not quite close, but you should give it a little edge over as well. So there, and again just make sure, just give it a little bit there, and the final piece there. Now, so you don't have to go all the way to the edge, because this bit's not going to be seen once you put the pads into place. Now, what you have to decide is what stripes are going to be what. Obviously, we've got a black base there. So what I was going to do was just going to do is just like a mortise engine, for example, which I'll probably use this once it's finished on the base or something, so it's been stomped on, obviously being a fire wasp. So you just remove the tape that's not required. Oh, that one was required, so my bad. There's that one there. Just make sure that's back into place as best it can. That's it. And then remove that one there. So with the ones that you've removed, just make sure you just give them a little firm push down into the positions that you want, so they'll stay there. So my fist on for this, and like anyone, you always give it a bit of a shake beforehand. Now I like to use flat brushes in most cases, but this is an old base brush, medium base brush from Games Workshop. So let's make sure you get a bit of paint on, not too much, not too little, and then bring it across there. So you can see the black's still shining through that, so you're going to have to go over it again, which isn't too much hassle. Obviously, if you're doing this for a battle titan you're set for yourself, then yeah, you'll do it several times. Obviously, I'm just using this for scenery, so I will go over it again, but it's just to get the first layer on. And I like using the flatter brushes in this instance because it just sort of spreads out easier. And I go from like a wet to dry brush, because I will use the paint I've got on there and just keep on brushing over, which gives it a bit of a sort of a streak at times. But the way I see it with that streak, it's like water streaks where you get on to see vehicles that have been outside for a while. You get the streakiness coming down through the dirt and grime, and you get that distortion in colour at times. But that's how I've done it first with it was a Bane blade, actually. I painted about 10 years ago, and a Curium pattern Bane blade, which was a Christmas present for myself. And I went over it with what was it? It was not Storm Grey. It was a grey they used to use from the foundation paints, which you'd use as a base for Space Wolves. And I just literally just went over that to give it that sort of like military grey look. But I went from, as I said, the wet to dry, just brushing over, giving that bit of a streak to it. And then when you added like, you know, detail, line washes and stuff, it sort of just tied it all together quite nicely. Now, so that's done there. Just set that off. Now, when you come to removing this, as I said, this is just a quick video just to show the basics of doing it. So you get your nice straight lines on there, which come out quite well. You can always touch up with a fine detail brush. If there's a little bit like that you've missed, you can just get a little fine detail brush, bit of Mephiston in there. But that's basically it. And then obviously you would go around the trim with gold or silver, and then lead belcher. But that's basically the general gist of what you're looking to do. The tapes are really handy. So doing stripes makes it a lot easier, and it gives you a nice evenly spaced stripe, whereas when you try to do it by eye, even the best of us have trouble at times getting those nice straight lines, and it's frustrating, especially when you sort of go over and you look at it and go, oh, that's one fat and that one's thin. It's like a barcode. Doing it this way makes it a lot easier for you. For a couple of quid for a roll of masking tape, definitely worth it. So that was from Hobbycraft, but you can get it online, and it's one of the Tamiya range. So there you go. Hope you find that interesting. As I say, it is dead easy to do, and once you've learned it, it's another sort of skill set you've got that you can use in other ways, shapes and forms of using masking tape for helping you do details on other models. So until next time, happy hobbying. Bye.